Let's begin the newscast with our top focus on US and Iran. In retaliation for recent rocket attacks on US troop locations in Iraq, US military launched an airstrike on facilities used by Iran-backed militia in eastern Syria. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights has reported that 17 pro-Iran fighters have been killed in the first military action undertaken by the Biden administration. The Pentagon spokesman John Kirby has said in a statement, and I quote, "At President Biden's direction, U.S. military forces conducted airstrikes against infrastructure utilized by Iranian-backed militant groups in eastern Syria. These strikes were authorized in response to recent attacks against American and coalition personnel in Iraq and to ongoing threats to those personnel." Kirby added that the move was designed to de-escalate the situation in eastern Syria and Iraq. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has said that intelligence developed by Iraqis helped in refining the target.
We're confident in the target that we went after. We know what we hit. And we're confident that that target was being used by the same Shia militia that conducted the strikes. And so you'll get more information in terms of the effects of the strike as time goes by. But I just wanted to make sure that, I gave you that viewpoint from me, that level of confidence that there is connectivity. And so we're very deliberate about our approach, as you would expect us to be. We allowed and encourage the Iraqis to investigate and develop intelligence, and that was very helpful to us in refining the target.
The director of Syrian Observatory for Human Rights has reported that the strikes destroyed 3 lorries carrying munitions. There were many casualties. Preliminary indications are that at least 17 fighters were killed, all members of Popular Mobilization Forces. The target was a border control point used by Iranian-backed armed Iraqi groups, including Kataib Hezbollah and Kataib Saeed al-Shuhada. The U.S. has blamed Kataib Hezbollah for numerous attacks targeting U.S. personnel and interests in Iraq in the past. The strike was in retaliation of 3 rocket attacks on facilities in Iraq, which are used by U.S. and coalition forces fighting the Islamic State group. A rocket attack had targeted high-security zone in Iraqi capital that is home to the U.S. Embassy. One of those strikes on February 15th had killed a civilian and a foreign contractor working with coalition forces. Several U.S. contractors and a soldier were injured. Kirby said that Iraq is in charge of investigating the 15th February attack. As U.S. opened a door to resume negotiations with Tehran over its nuclear program, the attacks in Iraq laid down a challenge to the new Biden administration. The groups involved in the attacks are believed to be operating under Iran's direction. The Biden administration says it wants to revive the 2015 accord designed to freeze Iran's nuclear development. But it also sees Tehran as a continuing security threat across the Middle East. And earlier during the day, we were joined in by Professor Fouad Izzadi, who is a professor at the University of Tehran. This is what he has to say.
I think the Biden administration is sending a message to the world that they are going to violate international law the same way the Trump administration used to do it. Syria is an independent country. Attacking Syrian territory needs permission from UN Security Council, and the US doesn't have that permission. There are several friends that the US has on UN Security Council, France, UK. If US had proper justifications, maybe US could get all permanent members agree on attacking Syrian territory. It seems that the Biden administration doesn't have any respect for international law. So the first point is that they are doing things that are against international law. The second point is that I think attacking Syrian territory for an incident that happened in Iraq is a show of cowardness, because if the US was capable of attacking the same people who apparently attacked US facilities in Iraq, they should have attacked the same people, or at least attack the same group in Iraq. When you attack people in Syria for an incident that happened in Iraq, shows that you have some problems, limitations in Iraq. And as you know, the Iraqi parliament has asked the U.S. to leave Iraq. So the message of the Iraqi people to the representatives in the Iraqi parliament is for the U.S. to leave, and they're occupying the Iraqi territory in a manner that is not fine with the Iraqi people, and they need to reconsider these type of activities and killing innocent people.